Hi, I'm the Tall Pegasus, or you can just, call me Turtle Dove if that suits you. This is sort of kind of my first video on YouTube, especially one that's pony related, and the script for this is likely going to be very rough, as, I'm not really the kind of person to go over things a lot, and I'd like to apologize beforehand that I'm sorry for anything that's bad quality, like the pony icon down at the right. My tablet's broken right now and currently being fixed because it's got some issues, and our air conditioning is broke right now, so I have a fan running, and if you can hear that too, I greatly apologize, but as soon as everything gets back to normal, I'll draw more poses, and we won't have a noisy fan that's like 2 feet away from me. Anyways, let's start this off. I've been seeing a lot of recent controversy of Alicorns and their supposed immortality. With Twilight finally reaching Alicornhood, this is very understandable. Though with Megan McCarthy saying that Twilight would not outlive her friends, it's caused a much more bigger and heated debate among the community. Though again, understandable, seeing as how little information we do have on these, godlike creatures that pose over Equestria. First, let's take a look at Celestia and Luna, the two Alicorns that we were originally presented with at the start of the show. It's very obvious these two have some sort of immortality or prolonged age, just judging by their backstory. They have ruled at a minimum of a whopping 1,000 years, and when I mean minimum, I mean the dead last possible amount of time, as it's very much hinted at they have ruled much longer than just Luna's banishment. So far we have no way of telling how long they lived, or if they actually god-tiered like Twilight and Cadence had, and only that they have ruled Equestria for an unfathomable amount of time. The majority of their story is still very shrouded, and we can only hope Season 4 will give us some more insight on these two, and not just more contradicting and frankly random history. While I don't recall it ever actually being stated that our celestial goddesses are immortal, it's very easy to come to this conclusion from what we've seen so far. I mean, giant horses living for over 1,000 years. But, have you ever thought that maybe Alicorns just have an elongated life more so than normal ponies? It's always been a lot easier for me to accept this conclusion, considering Alicorns have proven to be much more enlightened and powerful beings, and that a different body and practical godhood also comes with an extension of age rather than just flat-out mortality. Otherwise, what's the point of training Twilight to be a princess other than just the elements of harmony, which she could already just as easily harness in a unicorn body, or that she simply deserved to be a princess? Many ponies, including myself, like to think that our solar tyrant was just in fact training Twilight for succession, rather than just princesshood in general. Like I said, what would be the point of making Twilight a princess in the first place if she'll just have a normal lifespan and be doing the things she had done just before, but with wings? If it wasn't for being Celestia's successor, then there isn't one, and she was just giving Twilight a simple gratification of, oh, you did a good job, here, have some wings. Like me saying, okay, I'm gonna let you be a ruler of this world because you proved yourself, but you don't get any special privileges other than just saying that you rule it. And this brings me to another point. But Pegasus, Cadence is an Alicorn too, and she's aging just like every other pony. We have never been given any indication of Princess Cadence's age, though, and yes, we see her physical form change. Though, my extremely simple theory to this is that all we've seen her do is take the regal form of an Alicorn rather than just aging. It explains how she was just started off as a Pegasus in the Twilight Sparkle and the Crystal Heart spell, but it never really says an age. It just says that she ascended into Alicornhood after having a full and deep understanding of the power of love, just like how Twilight has a deep understanding of the power of friendship or magic. But, because, come on, if becoming tall, lengthy, and the entire structure of a pony's face changing is the process of aging, out of the more, unusually taller ponies, then wouldn't all adult ponies look like this? No, because all we've seen is her body change. While I say this, I understand it still doesn't cover for a slower paced aging, as her body changed in what we can assume to be a relatively small amount of time. She was the simple shape of the basic catch-all age for ponies, and then she just got taller and got a slimmer body. But fear not, I can explain this too. Again, we still aren't sure of Cadence's actual age. That doesn't cover it! Then how about this? Alicorns have a point of rapid growth into regal form until it hits around, I'd like to estimate, probably about Luna size. And then it slows dramatically over time, and they would gain more of Celestia's shape, considering we know that she's the longest living pony up to this point. Another thing I'd like to point out about Cadence's quote-unquote aging is, what about Luna's? So many people seem to disregard this, and it really bothers me. Her appearance from Season 1 and Seasons 2 changes dramatically, yet no one seems to claim this as a break on Luna's immortality like they constantly do on Cadence's. Or they'll just simply put it, oh, they wanted to change her look for Season 2 to more Nightmare Moon. I mean, that's understandable, but it can only kind of further prove my point that Alicorns have a point of rapid growth and then it begins to slow down. And with her being trapped on the moon for 1,000 years, I'm sure that was literally a freezing point on any development in her physical form, along with being in the form of Nightmare Moon and then the sudden revert of how she likely appeared before. And then she hit that growth spurt. And now we get to stroll into Twilight's supposed godhood. The first thing I want to address with this is Megan McCarthy's apparent confirmation that, and I quote, Twilight will not outlive her friends. Everyone has made this to be an automatic debunk of our newest princess' aging process without even taking into consideration that the staff isn't considerably the most reliable information on this, as she herself bluntly lied about Twilicorn and Sunset Shimmer, who is going to have an obvious role in Equestria Girls as our bitchy antagonists from the preview. Now, I'm most certainly not bashing on her or the staff. I'm sure they've signed contracts of which they are binding themselves to keep everything under stock. But back to Megan McCarthy's statement, she doesn't state that Twilight is not immortal or long-living, simply that she won't outlive her friends. Let's take a moment to remember who her friends are and what she can only accomplish with them. The elements of harmony. Celestia even very matter-of-factly stated that she and Luna can no longer control them. So yeah, let's take a look and see what they've done. Oh yeah, that. And that. Now, imagine, if you would, what would happen to Equestria if they lost that sort of power? I'm assuming that Celestia and Luna can no longer control them because succumbing to darkness slightly ruined Best Princess's pure heart, destroying the connection either had or ever will with the elements. And it's easy to assume this is considerably the most powerful and potent magic in this world. Where would this land be without the correct ponies to harness it? That's for you to speculate, my friends.